I just kind of want to start out saying it's great to be back in Houston, one of the best cities outside of Los Angeles that I've ever been in. So I'm excited to be here. Family's excited to be here. I got here in January, right in the midst of recruiting. And when you're in the midst of recruiting, the first thing you want to do is say, let's look who we're recruiting, right? So we looked at recruiting knowing that we're going to change from a 4-2-5 defensively to a 3-4. So my main thing was to make sure that the guys we were recruiting had the opportunity to help us as quick as possible. And everything was on target. Everybody was on target. We were able to keep the guys that we wanted and got those guys. So that was awesome. So then we start into spring football. Then we get into spring football, and the transition was great because guys were eager to learn. Guys were all over the place. You know, Coach talks about guys were coming to my office. Shoot, they want to know, and I always said this, and I got this from my junior college coach. On my door, it says Coach Stewart. My job, my sole existence here at Rice is to be a coach. So my door always has to be open. I have to be accessible. They have to be coachable, but I have to be approachable, and then I try to do that as much as possible. And that's always been a philosophy of mine as a coach. And so the guys were eager to learn. We were able to transition from the 4-2-5 to a 3-4 defense. I guess we'll see how easy when we play in Sydney, but they did a good job with it, and we're still doing a good job learning. They know what to do. Now, exactly how to do it is some of the things that we're doing right now in training camp. Unique training camp, summer. We're going through summer school, so they're 6 a.m. practice, and then they jogging off after that, and they're going to summer school. So it was a little different than anything I've been part of, but it's also kind of exciting because the kids coming back telling me about the classes they were in, and now we got to get their motor running and talk football. So that was exciting. I think there's some battles out there, but the most exciting thing, we got a lot of guys coming back. Defensive back-wise, I think everybody has played some snaps for us. As far as the D-line, a lot of guys, we got starters coming back and guys that played snaps. And our linebacker crew, most of them have played a lot of snaps outside of our middle backer, DJ Green, who I'm excited to see his contribution because he's played a lot special teams wise. He's an older player that brings a nice physical mentality to the game. So I'm excited about all those guys, and I'm ready to open up for questions if anybody has any.
What was the toughest thing switching defenses? I mean, we kind of know what we're looking at, but for you, what was the toughest thing and what's tough trying to switch?
Well, the two things the most, probably you want a prolific pass rusher at your will linebacker. So that has to be a guy that is going to be always by the three technique and is going to be able to make some plays. And so we wanted to make sure we had that. And with that, we have two guys, Womack as well, Brian Womack as well was Grayson Shantz. So I think we have two good guys there. The other thing is we wanted to make sure that the boundary corner was a guy that could attack the ball because he's going to get a lot of – in this day and age, there's a lot of 3-by-1 formations. And with those 3-by-1 formations, 3 receivers here, 1 receiver here, they like to isolate that back guy and that backside guy, that single receiver. And we want a corner that can make some plays on the ball. So a corner that could attack the ball, has good hands, has the courage to look for the ball when it's a 50-50 and come down with it. And so those were the things we did. And we found that in D'Angelo Ellis. And now the big competition is Justin Bickham and Brandon Douglas at that spot. Our overall defensive philosophy is, 1, you're not going to throw the ball down the middle of the field on us. 2, you're not going to run down the middle of the field of us. So that means everything's going to happen outside. And then the third thing is we want to be the best in Conference USA in ball disruption. And ball disruption is taking away the ball or disrupting the ball from the offense any way possible, any way, shape, and form. Be it interceptions, forced fumbles, strip sacks, PBUs on the ball, any way we can. We want to be the best at that.
You may have opponents that are bigger than you, How are you able to use that when you come up with defensive schemes?
I just we were in a meeting today, and some of the coaches were talking about we could do this, 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 and the main thing I told them is we're not going to make anything up. We're going to do what we do, and we're going to play fast, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to be where we're supposed to be. We're going to play fast. We're going to make them take the long way to get that first down, take the long way to get a touchdown, and we're going to let them make mistakes, and we're not.
How much of an extension has somebody like Emmanuel been to you as a new coach just on the field? Because I know when he first came, that was probably one of the first guys you had to speak to.
Absolutely. I think that Emmanuel's done a good job communicating not just his thoughts but the kind of the pulse of some of the guys. I think him and VJ Banks, I think they've done a good job kind of communicating with me the pulse of the team. They've been a good conduit between the coaching, the defensive coaching staff, and the players. All right, go Owls.